Hey, and welcome to my first ever YouTube channel, clip, video, one of the above. My first ever one. That's a lie, I did one before. But for my channel, my own personal channel, this is my first ever one. Basically, I've been asked a lot about spirituality and law of attraction and positivity and basically everything like that. It's such a vast topic. Honestly, I'm still learning to this day, and I've been into it for about a year and a half, 2 years now, and there's honestly so much to learn, and I'm learning every single day new things. So I thought I'd come to YouTube and do like a step-by-step guide about law of attraction, manifestation, and spirituality. So this is obviously step one, part one to the world of spirituality, and it's going to be all about law of attraction. So it's very first steps to law of attraction. I'm not going to get anything too deep about it. I'll do that on next episode. Next episode or next video? What do you say in YouTube slang? Next episode. I'm on Netflix. On my next video. So for now, this will just be the very basics of law of attraction and how I use law of attraction. Okay, so law of attraction is basically about the energy you give out to the universe will give it back to you. So if you're thinking positive, positive will come back. If you think negative, negative will come back. And now I'm not saying negative situations. I'm not saying negative situations will never not happen, because believe me, they will. But it's about how you react to them negative situations and try and still vibe positive even though you're in a negative situation. We make it negative because we've been conditioned to think situations are negative. When you get into spirituality enough and you try and see the beauty in everything that happens, even if it should be a negative situation. But yeah, I'll move on to that on another video. So basically now it's about positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. So for example, as people, we are used to moaning. I used to moan all the time. I still do moan, but I try and catch myself out of it now and flip it up. So one of the examples I always go to about law of attraction is you need to try and take negative sentences and put them in a positive light. So when we're sat in traffic, we will always say, "Ugh, I hate being sat in traffic. I hate traffic." And technically all you're doing is putting that into the universe, and you're going to just carry on attracting more red lights, more traffic jams, more crashes, potentially, like anything that will stop your journey going ahead. You basically put it out to the universe. And yes, I'm not saying you're going to completely stop traffic with your mind, you're not, but you can definitely reduce it. So what you can do is think, when you're driving and you are in traffic, you don't focus on the traffic, you turn up the radio, you think up some ideas, you look around at the scenery around you, you might people watch other cars in their cars, and you make it an enjoyable experience so that you're radiating good energy, and ultimately you're really going to enjoy actually being sat in this traffic and becoming like free to the situation. And you also got to end up probably attracting less traffic situations in your life. And it is really like that. And that's just one example. So another example I always use is your room. If you're concentrating on your room being messy, it will always be messy. Your brain will just think mess, and it won't bother to clear it up because it thinks, right, messy, messy, messy. Messy, messy, messy. So what you should do if your room is a mess is you should be saying, I'm going to tidy my room. My room is going to be tidy. So you put it in a positive light, and then ultimately you're sending waves to your brain that are like, right, I'm going to tidy my room, and it's going to look clean and tidy because that's what you're thinking in your head. So your body and your brain's going to respond to that and make your room a tidy place. It's very much like that, and I'm not saying you'll never moan again in your life, because you will. I still do, like I said, but it's catching yourself out when you do moan and when you are in a negative manner. And it's like people when they're saying, "Oh, I hate my job." I do encourage you to please, if you do hate your job, we live once, please try and find something else, like, please. But whilst you're there, you've got to succumb to, right, this is what I'm doing right now. The more I complain about my job, the more I'm going to hate my job. Like, it's not going to be enjoyable if you tell yourself you hate it. You have to try and find ways to enjoy it, and just, I literally say, like, you just got to give yourself to the present moment. Like, you're in work, you're there. Why would you put yourself through double the pain? You know you already don't like it. So don't be telling yourself all the time, I hate this job, I hate this job. You're just going to make the situation 100 times worse for yourself. It's crazy. And I've realised it since I've been thinking positive things. Like, if negative situations do arise, they're not as negative as I ever would have imagined in the past. So when I first started getting into law of attraction, my car had loads of things going wrong with it. Like, so much. It was my car before, my car now. And it was like a 10-year-old car, and it started getting to the point where everything was wrong with it, and I was having to walk back from garages and stuff, and I started getting into law of attraction. And I just dropped it off at the garage to be fixed for something. And I was just like, I'm not going to dwell on it, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, I can't change my situation right now. My car's in the garage, that's that. There was a click in my mind where it's just like, I've got to accept that that's what it is. And I'm going to attract a new car that works for me and is good for me. And I'm not going to focus on the negative of not got a car. I thought, at the end of the day, if my situation is my car in my garage, is that the worst thing in my life right now? I'm grateful if that's the worst thing in my life right now. There's people that face difficult situations all the time that are worse than their car being in the garage. I think when you realise that as well, like the traffic, if your worst thing of that day is being sat in traffic, then you're blessed. Like, you need to realise how blessed your life is, if that's the bane of your day. And I think when my car was in the garage and everything, I did start manifesting a new car, and it did come around, and I could afford this new car and everything because I'd manifested it. But like I said, that's for another video, because now we're just focusing on the law of attraction. And it's just about with other people as well. Like, people can be negative, and don't suck their energy in, because then you're going to be negative and you're taking out negativity into the world, and you're going to attract more negative people. Like, the other day I was in a shop, and the woman at the till, obviously, it's hard right now. You're working long hours and you're facing customers every day, and you're probably facing customers that are horrible to you. But she was just a bit rude to me, and in the past I would have been quite bitter back and been like, I wouldn't have said anything, but I would have just stopped smiling at her. I would have just been blank with her. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not bringing my vibration down. I'm not making myself negative and radiating negative vibes because she's negative to me, because I'm just going to attract more negative people, more negative situations. So I was just like, thank you, have a lovely evening, thank you. And just, at the end of the day, they're probably the people that need that the most as well, because they're negative for a reason. And they might need some light and love in their life, and you just not succumbing to that negativity is probably what they do need as well. I think that's everything I've got to say about the basics of law of attraction. And I don't want to go too in depth with each video. I want to literally do it step by step by step by step, because it can get so overwhelming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this video, and for 2 weeks I want people to be working on their thoughts and their mindset. And I want them to remember this video when they're complaining, and start switching it up. And trust me, I want you to see for yourself how it changes your life, because it will change your life. There's no point, like I keep saying, there's no point putting yourself through a negative situation twice. If something's negative, yes, it's negative, we can address that, but don't bring yourself down. You're going to feel it anyway, so don't make yourself feel it 10 times what you need to feel it. This is basic, and I want every single video to be like this until you catch up with me, basically, until you're at where I'm at. And one thing, just to finalise it all, is with this in the next 2 weeks before I upload the next video. Love having a dog when doing YouTube videos. So one thing as well, actually, I will finalise this video with, is for the next 2 weeks before I upload my next video, I want you, obviously, to vibe high and change all your situations into positive mindset. I also want you to think every day about things that you're grateful for. So when you're bored, just think about everything you're grateful for. So for example, this morning, I'm grateful for my dog. I was grateful for waking up. I was grateful that I had a plan for the day. I was grateful that I was warm. I was grateful that I could get in my car and go see my nana later. I was thinking about all the things that I'm grateful for. I was grateful for still working. I was grateful just for like a roof over my head. All the it's not even basics. I hate when people, I say it myself and I hate it when I say it. That's not basic. Like, you should be grateful for that, because for some people having a roof over their head isn't basic. And we truly need to be grateful for everything we've got in our lives. So if you're trying to try and change up your mindset into positivity and thinking positive and turning negative sentences into positive sentences, then I really believe like gratitude works alongside that so much. So in the morning, make it when you wake up in the morning, you do it. Make it when you go to sleep, you do it. If you're bored, if you're watching TV, get a list and write out everything you're grateful for. And that is step 1 to law of attraction, spirituality, everything my life's about, basically. So thank you. And I hope to see you on the second video. So you got 2 weeks. Remember that mindset.